get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to a viewer spotlight. This has been sent in to me by Tough R and it's the Centurion 7-1. This is going to be kind of an interesting game. I think he's using the L1, L7A1, the 105mm gun anyway, not the 20 pounder. So he's got what is a pretty punchy gun, and it's a very good gun. In fact, I think I will correct myself if I'm wrong, or Caption Guy will correct me anyway, the jerk. I think it's what the Conqueror has, or something similar, or maybe the Conqueror has a 120mm gun. I can't remember. I haven't played this thing. I haven't played the Conqueror, so I don't know my top tier British guns yet. But this thing basically carries very, very nice firepower for a medium tank, and it's one of these ones where you actually see people will say that they prefer to use different guns in different situations, but of course you can't choose what gun you're gonna have when you see what the battle matchup is going to be. You just have to make your choice in the garage and then cross your fingers that it's going to be useful for what you wanted it. So it's Erlenberg. Yeah, it's not the best map sometimes, especially when there's high tiers around with good view ranges, because it makes breaching across the river very, very difficult indeed, especially if you've reached that stage of the battle where you've got to press. So this is about half the team have come this way, something like less than half went across the bridge and went to the corner of Fail on the other side. You will find out very rapidly that Tough doesn't have the Sixth Sense perk for his commander. There is something down there, well, you'll see in a second. He's going to get very, very lucky a couple of times in this. Very, very lucky indeed, and that luck will actually be the difference between having won this and having lost this. So there we go. I would say he's been spotted, maybe. It went in his tracks. He's obviously got repairs or a toolbox on this crew, so they repair that very quickly, and he's able to get back down. And whoa, yeah, artillery was quick off the mark, but fortunately missed. Took off a very few hit points, but not many. So he knows he's spotted. There's something down there on the other side of the river with good view range. My guess is going to be on the VK2801, because there's a couple of bushes in A6 on that side where a scout basically can sit and just passive spot stuff that's coming over. And if there's people giving them some firepower to back that up, then it can be a nice spot. But the moment you get to enemies crossing the bridge, then that becomes kind of risky because you're out in the open, and it's harder to run away. But that's my guess anyway, that the VK is there. The Tiger 2 was pressed up, but he's the only one. The Friendly Leopard is also moved up a bit, but he's taken a hit already. Tough decides he's going to go get a bit forward, and yeah, that was very lucky. That shot on the move at that distance. Okay, that had to be like 300, 400 meters, 350 maybe, not sure. That was very, very, very lucky. Now, this is kind of tricky because that's the only enemy across there that we've seen, but there's almost certainly more than one thing. There's a good chance, in fact, that at least one of their tank destroyers is also covering that corner. Oh, yeah, now that was maybe the IS-3, maybe something else. But whoever it was didn't get lit up when they fired. So this is, yeah, not the best position to be in, because they're being shot at by stuff they can't see, and the guys that are backing them up, the IS-3, the M103, and the AMX, they don't have anything to shoot at. There's another thing. There's the KV-4, and that was an Object 704 shot that went into his track. So yes, there is a Tier 9 tank destroyer over there. So that's kind of fun. One that they can't see. And this tank's got a fairly reasonable view range as well. So it's obviously further back than he can see. So it'd have to be like A9 maybe, right at almost the limit of the render range. So he's taking a moment. You might wonder why he's sitting there, but actually he's taking a moment to just share that intel with the team. Yeah, he's figured out that he must be there as well. And that's actually really useful information, actually, if you get shot by somebody in the tracks or it does some module damage, because it tells you what tank has done it, and that is, that is information about tanks that are otherwise invisible. You can say, oh, there's an IS-3 on that flank, or a 704 or something, because it tells you that there is. So he was just sharing that information with the team. So he's being very cautious. There's 2 enemies now over there that we know about. No shot on that 122. He's behind the house. Oh, there's the IS-3. Can he get a shot? Oh, yes! That went in his tracks, but he may be able to reload in time. This guy looks like he's just relying on his crew to repair. He's not using his repair kit, so he gets a shot in there. And he's just gonna wait. No, he's backed off. I think that's a situation where the 20-pounder would have been superior, because you could permatrack somebody basically with the rate of fire, and once you permatrack somebody when they're side on to a whole bunch of friendlies, it's not going to go so well. The M103 has abandoned their position. They've actually gone down to the centre now. E75 is down there as well. So now, and the Mk.7 has actually also come up, so there's only the IS-3 that's providing sort of covering support, and it should be the other way around. The IS-3 should be down there and the AMX should be firing from the back, but the IS-3 is just in a less useful position, and that kind of hurt. That was IS-3. Yeah, okay, he's lost some hit points. He's still in fairly good shape. It's still 70% of his hit points, but that was not... You don't want to get shot, basically. But you can't complain too much on the other hand, because that Object 704 just, shot his tracks, as did the IS-3 shell earlier, also went in his tracks. So those are the 2 particularly lucky moments that I was talking about a little earlier. Those shells did no damage, so they just tracked him, and he didn't take any damage at the point where he got tracked. So there we go, that was a bounce, that was from the hill. That may have been a tank destroyer. The enemy T-28 Prot isn't spotted yet either, so it could be that. Or it could have been the Su-122-44. It's hard to know. So, 3-8, yeah, it's not looking so good. Basically everyone that crossed the river has pretty much died. The 2 tier 9s, the E75 and the M103, they're trying to push up on the enemy side of the river and flank a bit, maybe. But that's kind of a risky proposition, because you're getting shots from the enemy, the hill on the other side. There we go. T-28 Prot is down. And let's see if he can also get this. Yes, there we go. That's 2 enemy tank destroyers down in a very short space of time. That's really useful. He's not actually done that much damage so far, but he's taken out 2 potentially dangerous units on the enemy team. But oh yeah, that M103's taken a fair beating, and the E75 didn't actually move up. The E75 is just kind of sat there. Didn't support the M103 when he pushed, so the M103 doesn't have the armour for that kind of thing especially. It's got good mobility, but you need backup in an M103. You can't do that on your own. And hey, there's that VK spotted at last. Yeah, I had a feeling he was there. So that's obviously not enough to one-shot him, but he's forced that VK to retreat, so he's not going to be spotted by that guy anymore, at least. He's being a little incautious there, maybe, but if he was still let up, the 704 may have had a chance to whack one into the side of his tank, but it didn't happen. So that was a kind of hypothetical, maybe, that just wasn't really. Anyway, yeah, the E75 has moved up at last, but now he's really low health, and it's just far too late, basically. But we can now see where that 704 is, so that's a chance to do some damage there. 9-10. It's a little closer now. It's a little closer, but only a little. The ISA, the friendly ISA, is kind of deep in enemy territory, and probably not long for this world. But yeah, if Tough can take out this Object 704, that'll be a major boon, because that is that is something that's really blocking him from crossing right now. So I'm going to guess he doesn't have optics on this tank because he's not spotting outside his normal view range. That was a tricky shot to lead. It probably didn't do anything, but he had to go anyway. So we're now 9-12. Yeah, okay. The IS-8's finally succumbed. That KV-4, now we've seen the KV-4's got a stock gun, but it's probably enough if he hits the Cent 7-1 in the right spot. Oh, actually, no, I was wrong. He's got the stock turret, but he's got the top gun. Okay, in which case he's got more than enough penetration. He doesn't have quite as much alpha as if he had the 122, but it's still a gun to be wary of and a tank to be wary of. So is he going to pop out the other side? No. Okay. At this point, Tough has to be, I think he's probably considering his options quite carefully. The 704 is still obviously on the other side of the bridge, so pushing across when the KV4 is just going to light him up is probably not the best idea. So what can he do? Well, he decides to do this. He's going to take a couple more peeks, and he's got an IS-3 actually, that's crucial. The IS-3 doesn't get that good a score, but the fact that the IS-3 is actually still alive is quite important. Even if somebody doesn't have a terribly good score, doesn't do much damage in a map, in a match, the fact that they are still alive at a certain crucial point can actually make all the difference. So even the worst player, just by their presence, can swing a match. And I don't think this guy was the worst player. He's not the best player, but he's got enough presence of mind to actually know to stick with Tough. He's not just hanging around that end of the bridge on his own. He sees Tough's making a move and he decides to follow suit because oh, KV4, KV4. Can we? No, damn it. Good news is that KV4 almost certainly wouldn't have seen him because it doesn't have enough view range. 229 likewise probably won't have spotted him. Oh, there we go. That guy's now a one-shot kill. If we can have him, that'll be very nice. So he's just lining up the shot, but no, that guy's retreated. Okay, FCM. Okay. The IS-3 hasn't moved up quite yet, but he's just making his move now, which is a good thing because hello FCM. Yep, and there's an IS back there. This is even if someone's not the best player, if you're giving them twice as many targets to shoot at, you're dividing their fire basically, so your own chances of survival. If you know you're the better player and you've got someone with a lot of hit points that's a less good player, you can sort of hang back and hope that they take some of the hits, soak up some of the damage. That was an unfortunate shot. He's going to go for this FCM. Oh, ouch. Okay, that was the T29. Problem is, there's all these very low health one-shot kills around, and it's kind of tricky. So, there we go. Okay, he's no longer having to worry about being attacked front and back, because IS-3 made that crucial kill. It was a bit of a kill secure, but even so, it was an important kill to make. It's one less enemy to deal with. Have you noted the time? Because it's coming down to it now. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. I also apologise if you could hear fireworks in the background. This is right after a couple of days after November 5th, so there's people still with fireworks around. 2-minute mark now. IS-3 is moving up, and he really needs the IS-3 to basically spot for him and figure out where the enemies are. Whoa, okay, he's had a peek, and 704 is trying to sneak up from in behind. Ouch! Yeah, IS took another whack at him. But if you can nail that 704, that's a very high priority target down. Fortunately, these remaining enemies are low health, which is good because now it's 1 minute 30. The IS-3 has been... they've gone all the way around. A bit laborious, frankly. It was a one-shottable IS. He really... when I say this one guy wasn't the best player, you know, the fact that he stayed alive was important, but he really... he could have just had that IS sort of head on. And Tough is now in the position where he's actually alone. Now, I think he's not thinking that clearly at this point because he could have just rushed the KV4. And instead he tries to play peekaboo with him. The KV4 is... I'm pretty sure the KV4 is still reloading at this point. But yeah. Whoa. Okay, okay. He knows he's fine. He's going to go for it this time. There we go. Less than a minute now. 45 seconds. Okay, okay. The IS-3's taken a bit of a battering, but look at that. It's a trio of one-shot kills. And if this had been the 20-pounder, this would have been awfully risky. This may not have worked. 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. He's reloading. He just needs 2 more shells, and he has to make them count. Otherwise, this is going to be a draw. And there's people in the chat going, make it a draw, make it a draw, don't die. Oh, there we go, E75's down. He took a hit, but it just damaged his gun. Didn't do any HP damage. 8 seconds, 7, reload, come on, come on, yes! Yes! Woohoo, finally! Wow, that was close. That was close. Wow. You really ramped up the tension there, Tough. But yeah, let's have a look at the final scores, because my word, what a carry. That was a pretty impressive. You know, it started out kind of slow, and it looked like it was going to be a loss for something like half the battle time. It looked very dicey indeed, but Tough had some very good luck in various parts. He has some very good luck in the end there with having a lot of one-shot kills, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. But out of that he walked away with Spartan, Radley-Walters, Steel Wall, Top Gun. He got over 7,000 damage alongside his 8 kills, and his potential was almost 5,000 in a medium tank. And basically that match was won with like 5 seconds to spare. I mean, that was really very close indeed, and I think it shows that if you keep your head and if you have a bit of luck, sometimes what looks like a hopeless situation isn't actually quite so hopeless. But even so, you've got to keep your wits about you, and you've got to have at least a few of the dice fall your way. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Unfortunately for Tough, some of the dice did fall his way. So, yeah, GG. That was a fairly nerve-wracking match right till the end. So, if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a comment, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.